My name is Miles Carter. I'm 36 years old. I used to be a sound engineer, recording voiceovers, podcasts, audiobooks. Sound was my life. I love silence most of all. That perfect stillness where every breath, every echo had its own meaning. But I have learned something since then. Even silence can make a sound. When I moved into this apartment, I was just looking for a quiet place to work. An old 5-story building on the edge of the city. Peeling paint, cracked walls. The hallway smelled like dust and old wood. No noisy neighbors, no barking dogs. Perfect. The first few nights were fine. The house made the usual noises. Soft creaks, faint signs of the old wood. I didn't mind them until one night. I woke up because someone whispered my name. Softly, right next to my ear. I jumped up, turned on the light, but I didn't discover anything. Told myself it was tiredness. When you work with the sounds, you start hearing things that aren't really there. But a few nights later, it happened again. The same whisper, the same tone, as if someone was trying to imitate a human voice, but hadn't quite figured out how. To calm myself, I set up my recorder. I thought, if I record the silence, I will prove there's nothing there. But when I played it back the next morning, I froze. At first, just static. My breathing, the rattle of sheets, then footsteps. Slow, deliberate, right across the room. And underneath it all, a faint attempt to imitate my breathing. At the end of the recording, a voice.
Miles.
I must have replayed it 20 times. Each time it sounded louder. Maybe it was my mind playing tricks. Or maybe it knew I was listening. The following week, things started changing. A chair turned towards the wall, a book on the floor, and that smell. Dust, old paper and something metallic? Then, around 3 a.m., I woke to a faint tapping. Then again. I pressed my hand to the wall, a vibration, as if someone on the other side was tracing their fingers along the plaster. Then came the whisper, "Can you hear me?" I didn't answer, just stood there, barely breathing. When I turned on the light, it stopped, but they knew I could hear them now. The next morning, I called my landlord. He was quiet for a long time, then said, "You have been living there for what, a few weeks?" "3," I said. "Why did you ask me about it?" "Because the last tenant said the same thing. He kept recording the walls, said they called his name, then he left, and he hung up. I wanted to move out too, but I couldn't shake the feeling that if I left they would follow me, like a sound, stuck in your head even after the playback ends. I started recording everything, day and night. Sometimes I left the mic running while I was out. One morning, I played a file, heard footsteps, then a quiet voice said, "Don't leave." It was my voice. But I never said that. At least, I don't remember saying it. I don't use the recorder anymore. Now I hear them without it. Sometimes, at night, I can feel the walls breathing with me. And when I whisper something back, they fall silent, listening. Maybe they just need someone to stay, someone who will listen, someone who will answer.